Hi everyone, Teddy Baldassarre with TeddyBaldassarre.com. In this video, we're looking at a watch from Victorinox with their I.N.O.X titanium. So in this video and on this channel, if you're not familiar, we cover watches available for purchase on our website on TeddyBaldassarre.com as a full authorized dealer. So in this video, deep dive on this timepiece, final points of consideration at the end, but also throughout this video, if you have further questions, check out the link in the description to the product page where you can learn more and purchase the watch as well. But guys, let's jump into the video, take a closer look at this watch. Now first, let's begin with Victorinox as a brand. Having roots back to 1884, they are certainly not going to fall short when it comes to heritage, although you probably best know them for their assortment of high-quality cutlery, as well as, of course, its legendary Swiss Army collection of pocket knives. However, since the late 1980s, the brand has also produced a robust collection of tool-oriented Swiss-made watches with things like the modern Airboss, the Swiss Army Heritage models, and then more recently in the last decade, the I.N.O.X collection of watches. We have in the past looked at some other variations of this line, looking at the traditional stainless steel option on a bracelet, but today I want to look at the titanium I.N.O.X version, a course-powered variant that comes in around $650. And while it's a bit ironic that the name I.N.O.X actually translates into stainless steel, this variant still offers a lot to like. Let's take a closer look. Now, starting with the conversation on the wearing experience presented by this I.N.O.X titanium, the watch is substantial at 43 millimeters in diameter with a 53 millimeter lug to lug and 13.5 millimeters in terms of thickness. For me, the watch wears larger than the 43 millimeters in practice. I would say wears closer to that of 43.5 to 44 millimeter watch, largely as an effect of the broader case length. And while those metrics would generally make this watch strictly for those with larger wrists, I will say the use of the case material of titanium completely alters the wearing experience compared to the stainless steel member of the I.N.X collection. This, I think, would allow this one to be more accessible for those with medium to larger sized wrists. That said, I wouldn't overstep it and say it's going to be a perfect choice for those to the smaller end of the spectrum. The lugs are turned down slightly a bit towards the wrist, and the strap articulates well at the lugs, making this watch more wearable than it might appear from the cursory glance at the spec sheet. Digging into the case architecture and finishing, the shape of the I.N.X case offers an exaggerated take on the classic dive watch silhouette, with especially prominent sloping crown guards flanking at a 7.2 millimeter crown that screws down with quite a few turns. The case flanks fall away sharply from the top of the watch at a near vertical angle, and the lugs exhibit a 90-degree angle with a rounded top surface. Step atop the case is a more distinctive element for the design, a broad bezel with faceted edges that does not rotate, instead acting as more of a distinctive design element to differentiate from other model designs out there in the market. In terms of finishing, it's clear that Victorinox set out to highlight the grade 2 titanium case with an overall blasted finish that allows the matte effect of titanium to come to the forefront while offering a subdued tactical look on the wrist. Turning the watch over, we have a flat screw-down case back that pairs with the crown, and securing this watch's very solid 200 meters of water resistance, meaning this piece is capable of all but the most extreme aquatic adventures. Set between the odd number 21 millimeter lugs, we have a natural rubber strap specific for this model family with grooves near the lugs evoking the feel of a wave vent dive strap from years prior, and complete with a matching titanium buckle. For the price, it's a well executed strap. I don't think they actually cut corners here in regards to the strap that's being supplied, much better than many of just the throwaway type of straps that are typically paired with watches in this price range. That said, the 21 millimeter lug width is going to perhaps be a concern for some out there if they want to get the maximum versatility that could come with a watch like this. Zeroing in on the watch's anterior surface, we have a flat sapphire crystal set just below the level of the bezel, complete with anti-reflective coating that makes for an unobstructed view of the dial lying underneath. Now, one of the things you'll notice about the I.N.X dial is depth. We've talked about this in the past, but some things to kind of point out are the angled chapter ring featuring printed minute markings with the finer sub-graduations on its top tier, and another minute track with Arabic numerals at the 5-minute positions on the second tier where it meets the dial. Set over a black primary surface, this dial features trapezoidal indices that are either applied and filled with luminescent material, with the 12 o'clock index executed in the shape of the Victorinox logo in a sort of Rolex Oyster Perpetual style move. The outer edges of the indices are executed either in titanium or simply in a darker shade to match the titanium case, with a tapered baton handset and red second hand following the more subdued theme. Another aspect you'll quickly notice is the secondary 24-hour time, which is strangely printed on the underside of the crystal as opposed to the dial, and honestly is a bit challenging to read depending on the lighting conditions. With all of that in mind, as well as the odd placement of the 24-hour timescale, the legibility could be better and cleaner on this piece, though the white luminescent material present in the dial and hands ensures that the watch is still easy enough to read. Dial text is also low-key with only the brand wordmark Swiss Army and the depth rating breaking up the design, with the date aperture allowing a view of a black on white date wheel located deep underneath. Now moving over to the movement. So when first conceived, the entire I.N.O.X collection relied upon quartz calibers, though the collection has now expanded to include a few automatic models as well. The inclusion of a quartz makes a lot of sense considering this model family's more rugged positioning. Quartz movements are virtually in all cases considerably more durable compared to that of their mechanical counterparts, while also being insanely more accurate. Being a Swiss brand, Victorinox opts for a quartz caliber from Ronda, one of the largest manufacturers of quartz calibers in Switzerland by volume. The Ronda 715 included here is nothing sexy, but represents an appropriate, durable, accurate, and capable choice for a watch like the I.N.O.X. In terms of general specifications, the 715 offers 5 joules, a standard level of quartz accuracy of plus or minus 10 to 20 seconds per month, as well as 5+ years of battery life. Now to unpack looking at this I.N.O.X titanium, let's first speak to some of the criticisms and things to maybe look at. Sizing might be an issue, but I think titanium will offset some of those issues, which is nice to see. Do you like quartz watches? Do you not like quartz watches? That's going to be a big deciding factor. And then I'll also mention that 24-hour text in just general legibility, I think, could be improved. But then looking on the positive end, when you're talking about titanium case watches for under $1,000 that are actually well constructed, there's not that many of them, to be quite honest with you. Most titanium watches start to become more available between $1,500 and above from a dollar standpoint, and mostly above $2,000. So if you're a fan of the original I.N.O.X collection, maybe you don't want the weight associated and heft that comes with the stainless steel variations and want something more subdued, leaning into the tool nature of their watches with a nice rubber strap to be paired with it, that's where this one would make a bit more sense. All right, guys, well, thank you again so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. That does help out the channel. But also, if you're in the market for this watch, check it out on TeddyBaldassarre.com. TeddyBaldassarre.com is a full authorized dealer for 30 brands, quick and fast fulfillment, dedicated customer support, full factory warranty for all the products that we offer as well, unlike a lot of places online where you go to look to purchase. But guys, thank you again so much for watching. Be well, and I'll see you all very soon.